It's another honored tradition here at Boise State to feature a student speaker at each commencement. For those of us on this stage, this is usually the moment when we are awed and just blown away by the depth and the breadth of accomplishments and experiences that a Boise State student can amass while pursuing an undergraduate degree. This year's student is no exception. Clancy grew up in New Plymouth, Idaho, and came to Boise State as an alumni legacy scholar. Since his arrival, he has been named to the Dean's List with high honors twice. He is graduating today cum laude with a double major in finance and accountancy. Clancy has amassed a number of awards throughout his academic career, including being named a finalist in both 2017 and 2018 in the Idaho Entrepreneur Challenge, an event where students compete for seed money to implement their business ideas. He also won the College of Innovation and Design pitch competition in 2016. Clancy has engaged with the campus community as an officer of the student-led Financial Management Association. Under Clancy's direction, the group launched a stock market trading competition where business students can build their financial knowledge and hone their investment skills. Garrett McBrayer, a faculty member in the Department of Finance, praised Clancy for his contributions to the classroom, his willingness to help peers struggling with material, as well as his ability to work his way through difficult material himself. Clancy has shown leadership through his involvement in the community, serving organizations such as the Idaho FFA Association, the Idaho Rescue Mission, the Idaho Special Olympics, the Idaho Food Bank, 4-H, and others. And somehow, in his spare time, he has managed to work his way through college by running his own company, CJ's Mobile DJ, a business he started when he was a junior in high school and still does to this day. Clancy hopes to work in agricultural technology, and I have no doubt that he will be successful at whatever he sets his mind. Class of 2018, please welcome Clancy Johnston to the podium.
That sounds impressive, but the truth is, I almost fell down those stairs. Good morning, class of 2018, parents, friends, faculty, family, moody middle schoolers who don't really want to be here, families who got lost on a campus tour, and the random guy who thought there was a basketball game today. Welcome. 4 years ago, I arrived on this campus, excited, inspired, and a little nervous. Okay, fine, mainly nervous. It was my first week of class when a t-shirt in my closet ignited an idea. I threw the t-shirt over my head, then I took it off and put it on the right direction, and headed to the quad with a cardboard sign. I felt like the biggest dork holding my sign. 5 minutes went by, and I was starting to get a little nervous. And then I got my first hug. 32 hugs later, it was the start of a little thing called Free Hug Mondays in my Free Hugs t-shirt. Now, before we go further, I know what you're thinking. No, I wasn't homeschooled. Four years and thousands of hugs later, I have heard the stories of Bronco Nation. Mondays aren't always easy, but it's a day that has connected me with incredible people from all walks of life. A survivor, doing chemotherapy treatments on the weekends, then courageously returning to college week after week. A brother who lost a brother, and Monday was his first day back on campus. A guy who over the weekend asked the girl of his dreams to marry him. She said yes. But then he broke it off and asked some chick named Lauren to marry him. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong story. That's The Bachelor. They're getting married this summer, and Ari is still a jerk. And finally, a woman who just hours before earned the title Grandma as she held her newborn grandson. In a time of so much turmoil, hugs have a way of connecting us. I've shared hugs with people of every age, religion, tongue, and ethnicity. To me, it was a way to love people with no agenda, no precedence. It was also a way to put to very good use my very huggable, teddy bear-like physique. These hugs have taught me many things, and I'd like to share two of the lessons I've learned with you: the reality of pain and the joy of giving. Pain is an intrinsic part of the human experience. It presents itself in many shapes and forms. Feeling like you weren't good enough, weren't worth fighting for. The pain of shame, rejection, failure, grief. Of difficult circumstances or environments. The pain of crumbled relationships, the torment of heartbreak. For many of us, our deepest internal anguish comes from mental health conditions like anxiety and depression. For some of us, pain is the very reason we get out of bed in the morning, to go prove ourselves. I can often relate to that. For others of us, pain is the very reason we don't want to get out of bed in the morning. Being Free Hug Guy has not only given me the opportunity to share in the excitement of others, but also be there for people who really needed a hug. Oftentimes, I didn't even know what they were going through until months afterwards. We're all hurting somehow, and even though you may not be able to tell from the outside, we may try to hide it, numb it, or ignore it, but pain always catches up with us. Which leads us to these questions. What do you do to handle pain? How do you deal with life's most difficult moments? I'll propose to you another question. What if the most important choices we make aren't where we live after graduation, where we work, or who we marry, but rather how we handle pain? Perhaps the single biggest shaper of the rest of our lives are the choices we make in the midst of pain. In some season of our lives, we will come to the point where we just don't want to feel anymore. So we build up walls or self-medicate. However, I've learned that the very walls we build to keep out pain also keep out joy and keep us from true connection with others. Making wise, healthy choices in the midst of our pain starts with 3 powerful words. I need help. I need help. It's admitting you can't do this alone, letting your walls down, and allowing others to step into your pain. I need help is where healing begins, where addictions get broken, and where true, healthy community is formed. It's part of realizing our own humanity. I don't say this as a theory, but stand before you as someone who has experienced firsthand the importance of being honest about my pain and admitting I need help. When I finally invited people into my hurt, my mess, and found that I was still loved in the midst of it, it changed me. This experience of love and grace reinforced in me the value of Free Hug Mondays as a symbol that no one should go through pain alone. This brings me to my second lesson I've learned from Free Hug Mondays. When giving out free hugs, 3 times the regular amount of deodorant is needed. Seriously, I can't stress that enough. The actual second lesson is the joy of giving. We live in a world that defines us by what we get. The happiness economy would convince you that your pain can be pacified with likes, followers, and Lamborghinis. The latest Visa credit card commercial would convince you that true joy and fulfillment can only be found in accumulating and accomplishing. We take refuge on social media where there's a sense of connection but a loss of community, where we are sold counterfeit futures of travel and adventure. Oftentimes, our pain has us strive to get a wide variety of things in the pursuit of happiness. Get good grades, get a good job, get our dream house, get someone who will love us. For me, it was to achieve success in business and to be recognized as a leader. Now, none of these strivings are bad in and of themselves, but when our main motivations are more focused on getting rather than giving, we are often left feeling disappointed and unfulfilled. My experience with free hugs has taught me that the value of our lives are not defined by how much we get, but by how much we give. Our lives are not defined by how much we get, but by how much we give. Other than ridiculous things like giving out free hugs, how can we shift our focus from getting to giving? I'll offer to you one question, a few words with the power to improve families, marriages, relationships, communities. A question that has changed my life and shifted my focus. What can I do to help? What can I do to help? You see, leadership is not a title. It's one life influencing another. A true servant leader looks at their organization, family, or friend group and says, what can I do to help? How can I leverage my time, my resources, my strengths, my knowledge to help you succeed? True leaders lay down their lives and leverage all they are for the good of those they serve. And this is true love, laying down your life for the flourishing of those around you, for your community. Social change, world change, starts when people approach a problem with open arms, listening ears, and a simple question: what can I do to help? No matter your occupation, this mindset of giving can be applied to every aspect of life, and it leads to joy. This isn't just a theoretical concept, it's love in the form of a question. Making a daily habit of verbally asking people, what can I do to help, is sort of like saying, how can I best love you today? You can ask this to your friends, coworkers, family members, significant others, or anyone else in your life. We all have something to give. And this life of giving is not easy, but it's so worth it. There's a guy named Bob Gough who talks and writes about secretly incredible people. Those people in our communities who aren't praised or highlighted, they're just secretly incredible. They're people who do small acts of love that add up to an incredible life. They're humans we're all drawn to, not because of what they've accomplished, but simply because of who they are. Take a few moments to think of the secretly incredible people you know. Some of them are in this audience tonight. I bet you those secretly incredible people have taken the pain they've experienced and pushed through to love and serve others and found joy somewhere on the journey too. If I could reach out to each of you and give you a big hug and tell you something, I'd say that there's something more powerful than your pain, and that's love. Giving doesn't make the pain go away, but it does give us a sense of companionship and purpose in the midst of it. The willingness to look internally and admit, I need help, and to look externally and ask with our hearts, what can I do to help? This is humility. This is the foundation of truly healthy communities. You see, Bronco Nation is more than a beautiful city, our awesome blue turf, or our academic excellence. It's students, faculty, a community who looks outward and says, what can we do to help? So, we create a food pantry to make sure no Bronco goes hungry. We help revolutionize how Idaho Youth Ranch does business. We danced for 17 hours to raise $200,000 for the kids of St. Luke's Children's Hospital. FTK, for the kids. We write code that helps feed the homeless in our city. Greek life, athletes, clubs, college departments, all have served. Kindness, stepping into hard things that matter. This is what makes Bronco Nation, Bronco Nation. I'll leave you with these thoughts. Look inward, admit, I need help. Look outward, ask, what can I do to help? Once you've tasted the joy of giving, purely getting alone will never satisfy. Once you've tasted the joy of giving, purely getting will never satisfy. The free hugs text on my t-shirt is crackled and worn, and that cardboard sign, it's long gone. But what I'll take with me from this is something that can't wither or fade. This campus, this class, this community, and the lessons they've taught me makes me proud to be a Bronco. Congratulations, class of 2018. We did it!